Welcome to this week's class, When Your Health Matters, the class designed to empower you to better health through knowledge and education. And I'm your host, Dr. Richard Huntoon from Advanced Alternative Medicine Center. We're located at 138 Canal Street in Pooler Park, that is in Pooler, Georgia. We're in Suite 404 of Building 400. If you want to get a hold of me, you can give me a call directly at area code 845-561-2225. Again, 845-561-2225. Ideally, I'd love for you to stop into the office. That could be an opportunity to say hello, meet you, ask you some questions about what your health concern is. Most likely, I'll do a brief evaluation due to my natural curiosity to want to help you and understand what's going on with you. So that would be a benefit for you. But people are still a little reticent with COVID. So I understand if you're not willing to stop into the office. That's ultimately why we're doing these healthcare classes, because we would like to give you the information in a touchless, free way. I apologize for my appearance today. I realized that because of my schedule, this is my day off, and I'm recording this in advance because I'm going to be away treating patients up in New York. So this is my opportunity to record this particular class. This class is on your discerning small intestine. Very important class. I want to say welcome to June. This is the first class of the month of June. Summer is going to be coming for us down here in Georgia. Summer's been here for probably 2 months. It's pretty warm outside. We get pretty much 90s every day. Usually mostly sunny. So my apologies for that if you're living in a place that isn't that way. My understanding is up in New York has been pretty hot and sunny too. So good for all of us. So your discerning small intestine. Very, very important part in the body, because that's ultimately where all of our digestion takes place. The absorption, the assimilation of food from the digestive system into the body occurs in the small intestine. And so it's important to have your small intestine functioning properly. With the amount of information associated with this, I'm going to actually read a bunch of this because I want to make sure that you guys get all the information that you need in an effort to help you the most. Your small intestine is related to the fire element. We're just moving into the fire element energy. And so we're transferring out of the wood element of the liver gallbladder to the fire, which is primarily the small intestine and the heart, along with the endocrine system of the adrenals, the ovaries, the prostate, reproductive system itself. The pancreas is got some influence in there, but that really doesn't become active until the fall. Indian summer, late summer. So we're going to be talking about all of these things throughout the course of June, July, and August. But today is about the small intestine. And so we want to appreciate that, again, the small intestine is where all the discernment goes on, all the filtration, all the filtering through and understanding what do we hold on to, what do we let go of. And so there's a lot of issues associated with the intestinal system within the body, the small intestine. People who get these various symptoms, gas, bloating, indigestion, heartburn, those sorts of things, they all stem from the small intestine. The enteric nervous system, which is like a second brain within the body that helps to regulate what we absorb and what we let go of. That is active through the small intestine. Very, very important part of your health system. It's like I said, it's like a second brain that goes on. There's actually neurological tissue associated with the enteric nervous system related to processing the ingredients that come into the body. There's several emotions associated with the small intestine related to feeling lost or vulnerable, feeling abandoned, deserted, absent-minded, profoundly deep, unrequited love. These are all reasons to provoke a small intestine imbalance. And ultimately, when a person gets butterflies, having that feeling of butterflies in your stomach, that actually isn't coming from the stomach itself. It's actually coming from the small intestine, which then gives feedback to the stomach related to low self-esteem. So when a person doesn't feel good about themselves and they feel a little bit nervous, vulnerable, potentially lost, etc., those are the kinds of emotions that create the foundational basis for that. With regards to the areas that are associated with the main sense organ associated with the fire ailment is related to the tongue and being able to speak, and ultimately through the heart would be your sense of touch. And so when a person feels vulnerable or insecure, they may have a tendency to want to eat in an effort to quell that. Again, that's pulling in the stomach energy related to low self-esteem. So we would like the main taste associated with the fire element is that of bitterness, and the main fluid associated with it is actually sweating. Physical areas governed by the small intestine are the unilateral pelvis, one side of the pelvis versus the other. The knee and the pubic symphysis, that area just right in the center of your pubic bone. Any condition involving the pelvis usually has a small intestine component to it, and that would be important to understand. Abdominal muscles, quadricep muscles, anterior thigh issues, those are all related to the small intestine. What are some of the conditions that go on? Simple gas and bloating, indigestion, abdominal pain, tropical sprue, celiac disease, Whipple's disease. These are all related to the small intestine. What's important to appreciate is that within the small intestine, which is impacted by the intake of antibiotics, which destroys the good microbiome associated with, the secondary relationship, which we'll talk about next month, related to the small intestine is the heart. In the small intestine, if you have sufficient amounts of probiotics, you will be able to absorb your B vitamins. B as in boy. Your B vitamins are primarily the most important for the heart function itself. It regulates the neurological impulses associated with the heart. So if you don't have enough probiotics in your intestinal system, you're going to have difficulty absorbing your B vitamins. And if you don't have enough B vitamins, then you're going to ultimately end up having heart problems, which we'll talk more about next month. But it's important to have enough probiotics within the small intestine so that you can absorb your B vitamins. What other sorts of things do we need to appreciate? Again, if you have lots of gas and bloating, indigestion, heartburn, upset stomach, diarrhea, if you've taken antacids or over-the-counter medications or even prescription medications to help quell those symptoms, if you know that nuts, seeds, and high fibery foods are going to irritate your digestive system, these are all indications that you have a small intestine imbalance, and I would love to help you understand what you can do to remedy that. Of note, if you've ever taken antibiotics at any time in your life, which 70% of the antibiotics are put into our food supply, so I'm pretty sure this applies to everybody. Everybody has some level of digestive upset unless you are active in being proactive in understanding how to maintain the balance of your digestive system. I have been helping people do that for over 31 years. Would love to help you with that if you have these issues. So what is it that we need to do? If you suspect that you have small intestine issues and you're not really sure of which probiotic that you need to take, we recommend a probiotic that has 15 billion colony-forming units per dosage. We typically ask people to take twice that, meaning 30 billion colony-forming units, typically 3 times a day. For those people who have irritable bowel, Crohn's disease, tropical sprue, colitis, those sorts of health issues. I'm going to ask you to take the IBS products that roughly have 30 billion colony-forming units per dose, and we'll have you do that 3 times a day. The average person needs 15 billion colony-forming units per dose, and you'll do that 3 times a day. But you need to probably come in and have an evaluation to determine what are the specifics that are irritating your small intestine. As I mentioned, they typically come from a gallbladder imbalance, and more times than not, it's usually due to a parasitic infection. Please refer to previous classes where we discuss gallbladder issues and we discuss parasitic issues. Those typically happened, those classes I believe happened in the month of May, perhaps April, but I think they were all in the month of May. So that's it for this particular class. I would love for you to stop in at 138 Canal Street in Pooler Park. That is in Pooler, Georgia. We're in Suite 404 of Building 400. You can call me directly on my cell phone, which is area code 845-561-2225. Again, 845-561-2225. I neglected to tell you at the beginning of this video, please do not text that phone. That phone is not equipped to receive texts. I will never receive the text, therefore I will never get back to you. So if you'd like to call the phone number, you can leave a message on my voicemail, or you can email me if you want to do the texting thing. You can email me at docrick, DOCRICK, at spineboy.com, docrick@spineboy.com, and whether you stop in, whether you call, or whether you email me, it's my pleasure to help you to better understanding with the concerns that you have regarding your health. We are not meant to be sick. We are not meant to have health problems. I know it's very common for us to have these issues, but it's not normal. It's definitely not normal. So I want to thank you for tuning in. I'm going to ask you to tune back in next week. Same health time, same health station. This is Dr. Richard Huntoon from Advanced Alternative Medicine Center saying, I look forward to supporting you when your health matters.